was recently asked what kind of a DPS build you can put together at level 30. You can put together a really good build. The issue you are always going to run across is you don't have access to some of the gear and brand sets that you have at level 40. So you have to use Provenance Defense in order to gain crit chance, crit damage that you can gain at level 40 from Grupo and Cheska. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, it's Agent Meat from Delta Tactical. I'm on one of my alt characters. It's a level 30 character that I boosted to level 30 approximately a week ago. So what you're going to see in terms of gear was I was able to farm last week just in that week span. So these types of builds are actually not that difficult to put together. It's just following a basic template. Before Warlords of New York came out, this was the DPS template that most of us used. An assault rifle, a rifle, any pistol. You're going to run 3 pieces of Providence Defense, Contractor's Gloves, and Fox's Prayer with 1 piece of Fenris. For this build, I ended up with Technician class only because of the chest piece I ended up getting. It rolled with Spotter, so I wanted to have the linked laser pointer. So for Technician class, the linked laser pointer comes when you spec 15 points total into rifles, which I've done. I've also spec'd into assault rifles and pistols because those are the weapons that I'm using. And then I've filled out this part of the tree with the available points that I have. As far as the build itself, I'm running a Police M4. This one I crafted. It's imperfect. It was what I could get to roll with damage to targets out of cover, and I changed the talent to Flatline to again take advantage of the linked laser pointer. If I was going to spend some time working on this, I would want to roll similar to this, but obviously maxed out with damage to targets out of cover, assault rifle damage, health damage, and probably Optimist. What I have found in my testing and with my playstyle is higher RPM assault rifles benefit from either Flatline, which is amplified damage, or Optimist. If you've got a slower firing assault rifle like the P416, the FAL, Strained is actually a better choice because you're on the trigger for a longer period of time, which allows you to build those stacks of crit damage. The rifle is a classic M1A with rifle damage, crit damage, and damage to targets out of cover. Again, not fantastic rolls, as you can see by the gear score, but it was what I could get, and I rolled off, I think it dropped with in sync, which I could use as is, as I am running the Striker drone. But I wanted Ranger so that I could take longer shots with it. It's running the crit chance scope, the +5 mag, and the linked laser pointer again so that I can proc Spotter on the chest piece. We're running 3 pieces of Providence Defense. First piece is the mask, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and this is the theme that's going to repeat as much as I possibly could with the rolls that I got, is you want crit chance, crit damage, and then you're going to want to alternate between crit chance mods and crit damage mods once you've got your crit chance above 50%. So in this particular case, it's a crit chance mod. The backpack is Providence Defense. This one has Vigilance. It's crit chance, crit damage with a crit damage mod. Vigilance is probably your best backpack choice in this slot. It does give you, increases your weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. If you're finding you're taking a lot of shots, and you are going to be running a skill, one other option for you in this slot, and this is what I was running with when the character first dropped, is Companion. If I can find it here really quickly. I'm probably looking directly at it. While you're within 5 meters of an ally or skill, total weapon damage is increased by 15%. Obviously, you're losing 10% additional damage, but the trick to keeping that up all the time is instead of running a shield, run the normal Seeker Mine. And then what you do, you don't send it just before you enter combat, and I'm just going to run down to the range so that I am in combat. You double tap the activation key, which puts it at your feet. So Companion is now procced and will remain procced. I think the duration of the Seeker Mine is 2.5 minutes approximately. So it will remain up and active the entire time. It's never going to go down. So that is another option for you if you don't want to run Vigilance. That's actually how I run my DZ character. So on my level 40 character. So getting back to the build, again, we're running Vigilance in the chest piece, crit chance, crit damage, and then a crit damage mod. The chest piece is a piece of Fenris, and again, if you want to lean into rifle damage, you can switch this out. And off the top of my head, I'm having one of those gray moments where I can't remember the brand set that gives you rifle damage, but that's what you would run in place of this if you're going to run this as a rifle build. Weapon damage, crit chance with a crit chance mod. The talent on this, as I said earlier, is Spotter. That's what it dropped with, and I needed to roll off, I think it was health originally where the crit chance is. So I stayed with Spotter, and that's where I ran down the tree of using the technician class. Any type of DPS build, you do have some flexibility in how you build it. In a perfect world, I would prefer to have Gunner for its benefits. You do get armor on kill. You do get a rate of fire buff once you've gotten a kill. There are a lot of other benefits of that particular build, but I had Spotter drop on here, so that's what I ended up rolling with. Contractor's gloves, these ones I got very lucky with. I got them basically to drop almost perfect. I rolled crit chance on. These are perfect level 30 gear. They're gear score 515, which is max. So weapon damage, damage to armor, and max crit chance. Last piece of Providence defense. In this case, I have weapon handling and crit damage. I found what I needed more was the crit damage at this point because I had the mods. So you can certainly roll on what you want. In a perfect world, this would be crit chance, crit damage. Weapon handling does not hurt, though. Weapon handling is one of the better attributes because it increases your accuracy, stability, reload speed, which all increase or help your overall DPS output. The last piece is Fox's Prayer. Again, these ones are nearly perfect. Gear score is 510. Weapon damage, damage to targets out of cover, and crit chance. For the skills, I'm running wrong shield. I'm running the Crusader shield. It is a tier 1 because of the passive skill point I get from Technician class. It does all right. It's got decent active regeneration, and the health is 317,000. And again, if you're level 40 and you're used to those types of numbers, obviously everything is scaled because we're at level 30 with this particular character. And then I'm running the Striker drone. There are lots of options for what you can run as skills. These are my two favorites for a DPS build. And then the Striker drone is there to draw some aggro and do some additional damage. It will also force NPCs out of cover. As you're going to see in the gameplay, for some of the elites, it forces their attention on the drone so that I can hit their backpack. That's what I tend to use it for. But as far as skills, whatever you're most comfortable with are the right skills for you and for your build. I'm running the standard concussion grenade. With the latest title update, if you press and hold G, you can actually select on the fly between your two grenades. So that's the build in a nutshell. As far as the stats for it, I ended up at 52.8% crit chance, 75.7% crit damage, and 70% headshot damage. We've got 7% armor damage, and not listed on here is we've got 5% damage to targets out of cover coming from the Fox's Prayer, and another 4% for a total of 9 coming from the Police M4. And that doesn't get listed in the stats. 10% health damage, again, that's coming from the assault rifle. And the rest of the stats you can see here. As far as the armor, there's no armor on kill or armor regen, so you do have to be somewhat careful with it. The gameplay that you're going to see is Lincoln Memorial on Heroic, so it is entirely possible to take on solo Heroic content with a build like this. You just have to understand the limitations of the build itself. You're not a bullet sponge. You play from cover, you play from range, and make them come to you so that you can take shots on them. Because it's a level 30 character, I do not have a watch, so there's no additional watch levels applied here. There's nothing additional that you can see here. Again, it's a tier 1 shield, which gives you 317,000 health, and a tier 1 drone, which does 3,700 damage. So when I run a level 30 DPS character, this is the build that I put together. And again, think of it mostly as a template. 3 pieces of Providence defense, Contractor's gloves, Fox's Prayer, and then your last piece is going to be based on what your primary weapon is. If you're running an assault rifle, you want Fenris. If you're running the rifle as your primary, I'd run an Overlord piece here in its place. If I wanted to run a shotgun for this, Badger Tough. Those are your options. The most important part is the 3 pieces of Providence so that you can get its brand set bonuses, which are headshot damage, crit chance, and crit damage. This is the only way that you can get those brand set bonuses when you're at level 30. You don't have the option of Cheska or Grupo, so you have to spec into Providence defense. The gameplay that you're going to see again is Lincoln Memorial on Heroic. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate all the positive comments that I've gotten in the last while. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. And for everybody, please engage with the video in one way, shape, or form. A like, comment, a share. They all help the YouTube algorithm and help the content get out to a wider audience. It's Agent Meat signing off. Enjoy the gameplay and have a great day.
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons forces. If they maintain this outpost, True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter. Trusons have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. Let them know what you're walking into. Just ID'd those shells as chemical weapons. Can't afford to let the Trusons escape with those. You've got to find a way to close up that tunnel. keep them from getting more of those mortars.
You think closing the tunnel was smart? Fuck you! You slot yourself in with us. I'll make sure you rot down here.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial. If you hadn't stopped them, I know they would have used those weapons on us, and we would have ended up like Castle. I can't tell you how relieved I am to have you on our side. Thank you. Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sun's infrastructure. We confiscated a massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated a stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.